Good evening, everyone. James Hicks here from Hicks New Media and Infotainment News. We have a very special event tonight. Look, I've known this guy for a long, long time. Back before both of us had all this gray hair, and you'll see that in a few minutes. On the professional side, Mr. Dre Armeda was the co-founder and founding CEO at Security Incorporated, a website security SaaS company. After a successful acquisition by GoDaddy in early 2017, Dre ended up leading their product management efforts over there at GoDaddy. Today, he serves as their senior director of technical program management. Man, that's a business card for you right there, player. And he's really responsible for all of their 19 plus million paying customers, all over 60 million domains. That's a lot of responsibility. Going to have some timely conversations about some things going on in terms of technical security right now with a lot of the items that are happening across the globe. On a personal side, Dre, look, he's a diehard Anaheim Angels fan. I think he's got the cap on right now, so he's representing the hometown. LA Chargers fan. I'm going to get him off air before they go and start playing tonight. I know I got like an hour and a half, so we're gonna get this done. He's a girl dad. I love that. Navy veteran. Appreciate you, sir. Thank you for your service. Jiu-Jitsu coach and practitioner. And beyond that, he's a lover of life. Let's get into this, y'all. Dre Armeda. Oh, shoot. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do it again. Salute, brother.
Hey,
Be ready, man. Be ready when this got to be a drinking game all night.
With my water beer here. I got this going on. What's going on, man? It's been a hot minute. I'll tell you what, that intro has me vibing, though. That's great.
Like that. You see me every time I play it, I'm in the background jamming with it too, man. Thank you, brother. Yeah. Trying to get it right. You got to stand out from the crowd.
That's it.
The crowd, the crowd is full out there, so I got to make sure that the product is above average. I need to be at least a B plus student. I'm trying to be a B plus student.
I see you putting in work, though, man. I see your face everywhere. It's good.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. I'll start off and say, you see me representing our boy here.
Yeah. The Rebels. Love y'all. Paisley in the house.
You need to be on the show with us next time too. Him and Lima and Brother Williams, all of them, right? All of our old school folks. Man.
Yes, sir.
Greg, tell me something, man. How you been, man?
Pretty good. It's been a very interesting time through the pandemic. So the fundamental changes that we're all dealing with globally. But still, you got to find a way to continue pushing forward, just like you're doing here. So I was goofing off with a little bit of a podcast myself, a little streaming, some product reviews, being that I was off the mat for a considerable amount of time. You mentioned the jiu-jitsu thing is my jam. And then push it into the end of the year here, man. Every year I've been coming up the hill here in Southern California, Lake Arrowhead area, D14, to do a little hiking, looking for some game. I do a bit of deer hunting and bear hunting up here. So last few months been up here, a couple months anyway.
So you just rolled out from Menifee, went on up there. You got your trailer. Right? I know you got your Jeep, so I don't even have to worry about that. I know you rolled up there with the with the stank Jeep. So you've been up there for a couple of months shooting, looking for them game?
Not full time. So it's only about an hour and a half from my property down the hill. So cruise up a few days a week generally, or on the weekends, and go hang out in the middle of nowhere, man. It's pretty awesome.
I love it. I love it. Now you up there by yourself? Hopefully you got some buddy system going, man. I can't have you getting lost there.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny this go around, but generally speaking, I'm up here with a group of us that come up. We've been doing it a good decade, hunting deer and stuff. So yeah. Nice. Yeah, just cruising around right now, man. This would be good.
Somebody's got it.
It's cold though. It's cold. It's like high 30s right now. So I usually you got till sunset. I came in a little early this evening, which is good because it's very, very, very cold and overcast. The clouds are low.
Yeah, the rain is coming back, so man, be safe out there. Be careful. Get what you can. I definitely want to see some photos of the spoils of your time in
I
Africa.
did harvest this year. I'll send you some pictures on the down low. People get a little goofy when you post that stuff
No,
publicly. So
I know. Come on, man. Come on.
yeah, I'm
It's
just
gonna
saying.
be all right. Look. I tell you what. If you got some extra in the freezer,
Listen, I
look.
just got
I
a
tell you what.
dehydrator. I got a dehydrator to make some jerky. Like it's game time.
Let's get that in. Let's
Protein,
get that
clean
in.
protein.
Got to. So talk to me. I started out talking about from a professional side, and you've done so much, man. When we first kind of connected back in some early WordPress days, right?
Hmm.
Interesting enough, today was the state of the word. I was
Yeah.
watching Matt talk about the state of the word, and I said, "Damn, I'm talking with Dre today." So
Yes,
it's
sir.
17 years that the project has been out, that
Yeah,
being
that's crazy.
WordPress, which is crazy, and we've all kind of been there since the
Yeah.
beginning.
Hmm.
Security, focusing on online security aspects, moving into GoDaddy and focusing on, again, managing all of those incredibly, that large ecosystem, all those domains. Tell us a little bit about a day in the life of what you do now from a professional standpoint.
It's so operationally, there's a lot of connections, but certainly scope and scale is significantly different. I think when we were running security, it was uh, um, very spread out in terms of your daily responsibilities. You're wearing a lot of hats. It's a startup. You're scaling a small company. You're servicing a lot of customers. It's very niche in terms of the service offering. Um, uh, this is very different. So as we transitioned into GoDaddy, continued to run the product side of the house for all of the security products. We were very security, or I'm sorry, product driven in terms of organizational structure. So as part of the security product organization, I was helping kind of scale that. Those products, understanding what the customer needs were, what type of features and added value we could provide them, and then we had a big transition in bringing in SSL and all the other products there. The first couple years, we found quickly that we needed a better way to and a more formalized way to support program and project management for all of those functions, really tying in all of our marketing and care efforts, all of our engineering and product functions within that product group. So kind of shifted my gears there and was chartered with starting up the PMO for that product group at the time, and did so successfully, really encompassing all of those cross functions to make sure that we were working as efficiently as possible. Which the end state is better value for the customer, right? Like that's always
Right,
the
right.
end game. But we were still very product driven by markers in terms of what we wanted to do financially as a product group, like our goals, stretch goals, and such. But
Yeah.
we had an awesome change of the guard here last year, where Amon came in as a CEO from Expedia, and through that there was an operational model change, where we kind of flipped everything on its head. Really, let's focus on our customers and those values you want to provide to them. Like our whole goal is to empower people with ideas to be able to execute those ideas without having to worry about all of the
Mm.
crazy technical things they need to do, from productivity to hosting, the security piece. Um, so the idea was, let's focus on those independents, those 20 million customers, and make sure that we've got a portfolio that really um, helps them again kind of execute the things that's important to them, whether it's starting a blog, starting an awesome live show like this, a cupcake shop, whatever have you, right?
Hmm.
The other function there, or the other organization that we are really focused on, is the segment or audience, where it's maybe folks like you and I that are technical, and we help our friends or family or other people as freelancers, or even small agencies, to make sure that they're getting those areas taken care of and that they can execute their ideas. So The organization that I'm in now is the partners organization, which is that pro function. We're supporting those pros by giving them tools to be able to enable those independents to reach
Yeah.
their
Okay.
dreams. My specific role is head of technical program management within that partners organization, bringing in all of the program portfolio for partners so that we can execute against all of those values that we're looking at. So pretty large portfolio, 25 programs at any given time, hundreds of projects. I've got a team full of program and project managers helping engineering and all those cross functions execute.
Awesome. I appreciate, and I wanted you to really dive into that because I want listeners and viewers to realize and recognize, GoDaddy is no longer just that value priced hosting provider, right? There's so much more that you provide from an organizational perspective. You're looking at, again, the from a layman's perspective, you're looking at it from a pro's perspective. You got a PMO organization. So there's a lot of things that you guys are doing. Been around forever. Right. So
yeah. I mean, 23
scale.
years, I think at this point, 23, 24 years, though. The company started out as a registrar, a domain registrar, which is still one of our core businesses. We have our investors, meaning domain investors that are buying and selling domains.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the independents. How do we service those folks, and then the pro function? So that across that, there's 30 plus brands and numbers of products in the portfolio. So it's pretty broad in the opportunity that we can bring to the table for folks.
That's crazy. Going nowhere but up. I love it, man.
It's
Congratulations.
been a hell of a ride, man. Awesome company to work for sure.
Now, since you've got security kind of in your back pocket, though, even though you're focusing on other things right now, I'd be remiss if because even today, right, we're hearing about all these Russian hacks into government agencies and sites infrastructure aren't either properly bolted down, locked down, cyber recovery, cyber hacks. I talk about this on a daily basis in my organization. But what's your thoughts on that, man? I mean, how would you, or how do you have that conversation with individuals, pros, companies, whatever, if they're asking about security in terms of an online environment, ensuring that it's locked down?
With consistency as the lead in. And I think that's where we fall short often is when I started security a decade ago, it's the same questions. It's the same discussion, right? I was working for Sempra Energy, large energy organization that owns, from pipeline to generation of gas and electricity in Southern California. I started up their information security awareness and training program. This is a company with 20,000 employees. It's the same questions. It's the same discussion there. It's the repetition and consistency in helping people mitigate risk. There is no silver bullet. But the challenge is that we get so caught up on technology and solutions that we're not thinking about the broader risk, which is people and their misconception and misunderstanding of these risks that they're going to deal with the moment that they connect any appliance online. That's the reality. It's not going away. It shifts its mask a bit, but it's going to be a continual thing. So it's repetition and consistency and letting people know that there are risks and helping them work through some of those areas. For example, phishing attacks are, still by far the largest attack vector that we see worldwide. Look through email; it's leading you to exploited websites. They're trying to take your credentials. They're leveraging social engineering techniques to try to get something out of you. They're really playing with your emotions to try to catch you slipping. Right?
Yeah,
that hasn't changed. Maybe that the graphics they're getting better. But that message is still the same. So it's enabling people to make better decisions around clicking a link or going to a site, making sure you have your software updated. It's all those same security principles of yesteryear. Like it hasn't changed much.
Yeah, I hope my parents are watching because they literally just got caught up in some things, or almost got caught up in some things right this past week. And I'm like, man, Mom, don't click on that. Oh my goodness.
Or they're calling, hey, we're from Microsoft. You're hacked. We need to they have all sorts of different automated tools, right? And they have these folks that are trying to get you to give them your credentials. It's not going to go away.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know, brother. Let's get on a lighter note, man. Let's get right light. Yeah. Now you got me all stressed out. I'm taking another drink.
I'm thirsty.
we talked about off roading. What you ride up there?
Mm.
You got one of them modded out stank eyes up there.
Oh man, no. So for when I come up hunting, I'm generally taking the fire trails and I'm hiking in. Right. So,
Hmm.
I have a truck that I take out on the fire trails. I'm not hitting a lot of the rock stuff. The Jeep is become a little bit more than just a Jeep these days. It's a I went a little overboard and built it out to be pretty much a rock crawler. So it's meant to do just really silly stuff. It's a 2014 Jeep Wrangler, but I think the only thing stock on it at this point is part of the dashboard or something. It's
I was like,
about
not
it.
even the steering wheel, right? I mean, even the
Yeah,
steering
right.
wheel has
Like
been
so.
upgraded and custom. God.
Yeah, it's a little bit of an addiction. The vehicles in general, man. I'm really caught up with just cars and modifying them. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to be in that, right? I had all my old school VW cars. I'd cut the springs and lower them,
Yes.
all that stuff back in the day.
Yes.
But I've now got to the point, brother, look, I'm done. I do not want to, I don't want to pay for maintenance. I definitely don't want to pay for gas. I don't want any of that. So I've gone all EV. I just can't
Awesome.
do it, man.
It's shifting for me as well, right? I see myself like I got the truck. I got a new truck. Spend most of my time in that. Um, my happy places are on the mat and in the woods in the middle of nowhere, man. It's like that serene connection with your surroundings and yourself, right? Like all the other stuff. It just spending time with good people, good friends, good family. Like
Yeah, I
yeah,
love it, man.
it's stuff's changing. Stuff's changing. I'm growing up.
Well,
It
well,
only
I'm,
took
I'm
it
not
only
going.
took 1,000 years.
I was going to say I'm not going to ask you to say the exact number. You hit a quarter century yet? What number are you at, man?
A quarter
Mid
century.
40? Look,
Quarter
I'm.
century.
Oh,
I hit that a long time
what?
ago. I haven't hit the
Okay.
half century yet.
Okay.
But
Well, see, I was leading you up before I'm trying to be nice. The host is
we
trying to be nice, man.
so you would think so by the
Yeah,
nature
you
of
look
of
at
the
you, man. I
silverback
like
here. What's
that.
going? Yeah, like pretty soon it's like right now I'm looking like
Oh.
a busted ass Wolverine. I'm not sure what's going on here. No, still haven't hit 45, but in the 40s. We're approaching that fast, which is interesting. I'm ready for 45 because that pushes me from a jiu-jitsu competition perspective into Masters 4. So I get to play with all the Geritol brothers. It's going to be awesome.
Hopefully that will save your body a little bit too, because let's transition to that. Because you say
It
you're spending
hurts.
time on the mat.
It hurts.
I'm with you, man. I told you doing a little pre-show conversation. Look, I'm
Yeah.
broken too right now.
Yeah.
I got a little sciatica. The right side of my body is literally completely numb. Doc's got me on some
Stuff.
prednisone. Yeah, I
Steroids.
know
Get all that
my
swelling
parents
out
gonna
of there.
call me. My parents gonna call me after the show if they watch
Like,
it because
what's going
they're
on?
like, "What you talking about? You taking? You got some Norco? Wait a minute." No.
Wait a second.
So talk to us a little bit about that. You brown belt, right?
Yeah, I'm a brown belt.
I know. Look, we know these things, man. It's not my
Yeah,
first. Come on, we go around with the guy, dog.
I know. Yeah, brown belt, man. I'm a proud Carlson Gracie Bulldog. Brown belt. I've been promoted by Master Carlson Gracie from every belt. Of course, with my professor at a Carlson Gracie Menifee, Orlando Alonso, who's my Cuban brother. He's awesome, man. So I've been with him at the school there since he opened in 2013. This was a spectator sport for me. I was like, this isn't really my jam. I was a heavy cigarette smoker and goofy fat dude. And
A lot of cigars back in the day. I remember.
well,
you
even through this year, but I've cut those out as well, man. I stopped. I haven't had a cigar since like Father's Day this year. It was a gift. So, but yeah, I've been training. I guess 7.5 years now, and I've progressed fairly good. Hopefully, in the next year or two, I earn my black belt. I'm right there. Just got to stay on the mat, stay focused and consistent. Again, it's like things in life are really about consistency, right? Consistency and prioritization. We always talk about like, hey, you need to make the commitment and have the discipline. Like, look, without without really committing and prioritizing things that are important to you and being consistent in that follow through. It none of those other things you want to throw up in the air as what's important are important.
That's true.
So staying on the mat, staying training, trying to stay healthy. Like that's a challenge for I'm not the 22-year-old wrestler that is bendy and able to move like I used to. And I've gotten not through COVID, because I don't think this is a fair time to assess my weight challenges. But I tell you what, going to the beginning of this year, I weighed as much as I did in my sophomore year of high school. Dre had a little 6-pack thing
Watch
going
out
on.
now. Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
So it was moving pretty well. Was competing, just feeling awesome. But COVID hit, so things slowed down a little bit. I get back out there. I was training at an unspecified location with some very healthy, non-infected COVID. Yeah. In any event, man, like getting back, you're out of shape. You're probably your mat endurance, your footwork, your timing, everything's off. Kind of tweaked my back, and then I decided to go golfing, and that's all she wrote. So I've had problems with the back, like cervical spine, C4 through C7. I've got herniated discs. I've had shoulder surgeries. So it's just goofing off, and it's just things you got to be mindful of, man. We're not what we used to be in that sense, but it's good to stay focused, stay on the mat. You just got to be very careful who you train with, how you train, and it's okay to tap. It's okay to tap, but hopefully, I've done some teaching and stuff over the last couple of years, which
that's
is
what I was
great.
going to ask. I saw you doing some coaching as well too. So how's that going?
Probably one of my favorite things is to see the light bulb go off for a student when they get a technique, or they're able to transition into it in a sparring session or in tournament, and they're listening and they're applying what you've been over, and they're successful. Like that is such a damn good feeling. That the teaching nature of it is something that I gravitate towards in most everything that I think I do, that I enjoy. I love for folks to pick up those things, the value points that I can give them, and for them to get better. It's pretty awesome. But on the mat, it's crazy. I've been teaching, well, again, COVID aside, a basics class, helping with the kids class, and then covering for professor when he needs it for our main classes, and then just going to tournaments with the students and helping them push to the podium, man. It's good.
I'm over here. I was looking for it. There's a photo that you posted. I believe it was you coaching at a tournament, and it captures that exact feeling that you just enumerated just now.
I think it's my profile pictures on Facebook. I think. Yeah, I think it's I have it on my profile pictures, I think, right now. That is where I want to. That's what I want to be. Like, that's where I want to be. That to me is just awesome. Yeah,
I heard that.
I enjoy it, man.
Well, you got to do what you got to do, man. You got to do what you got to do.
Plus, I like choking people. It's kind of awesome.
Look at him right there, boy. That's
Let
me make sure these comments. Oh my God, what are these folks talking about here?
It has been life-changing though, for sure. Being on the mat, I don't see a place for me moving forward without jiu-jitsu in some capacity. There's no way.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you got are the kids getting into it? Because you got a little soccer team going.
Yeah.
You got 2 or 3 or 4. You got a handful of them.
Little NBA squad, right? WNBA squad. They so the oldest girls. So that's actually the story of how I ended up on the mat. Orlando opened the school, and Tony Perez is my brother-in-law, and he had trained before, and he saw that the school opened, and he invited me over there. I said, nope, spectator sport, my friend. But then Hallie, my oldest daughter, was like, I want to do MMA or some type of martial art. I'm like, well, your uncle's on the mat here. You need to get your foundation. Let's learn how to intelligently defend ourselves before we go into busting each other's noses up. She went over there. We took her over there. She took a couple days, like free trial, and she's like, hey, pops, I like this. So you got to get on the mat if I'm gonna get on the mat. So, here we go. So
here we go.
I'm like, I'm ginormous, Dre. There are pictures of me in a gi in an A5, and if you don't know what that is, that's a very, very large man. In any event, I get on the mat. I didn't die, almost died, almost puked on the mat, didn't made it to the trash can. Crazy times, but stuck it out for that week. And I said, let's sign up and hit the ground running. In any event, as her sister saw her get on the mat and she was working out and stuff, it was kind of just a trickle effect. They all ended up getting on the mat, except the little one. She was too little at the time, and so they all trained at least a year. They all competed at least once, and then I was taking the little one to class until COVID hit, and then we cut that off. So she's been on for about 4 or 5 months before that. But yeah, they've all at least trained a year, and that's when they commit to something, I don't want them to like half-ass it, and I don't want them to just push away from it the moment things get difficult. So no, you're not going to commit for a week or 2 weeks, a month. No, you give me a year, and then you're going to really make a value-based assessment and an educated decision as to if that's something you want to continue. But you need to commit for at least a sustainable period of time.
Right.
So they did. Like, you get in, Roger that. You're playing for a year. You're going to be doing your thing. So they've all decided to not go back, except the oldest one. But then she joined the Navy, so she's
following daddy's footsteps.
Yeah, proud sailor pops here. Yeah, for sure. So
I would say congrats. I wouldn't hit this. There's a sore note about the Navy right now, as of last week, right? Because the game.
I don't want to talk about that shit.
We don't want to talk about that. I'm just gonna go off screen.
Hey, listen. They were 3-7 going into the game. Army, I think, was 7-3 or 8-2. Pretty good team. We held them to 3 points through the third quarter. It was a pretty good game, and then they expanded in the fourth. A couple weird situations, but I never thought we'd look. They played well. It's fine.
You did represent,
Yeah. They played well. Good coaching staff there, and I see a good opportunity for them to switch gears here over the coming years. So,
shout.
Go Navy, beat Army.
I got some Navy buddies. I mean, some Army buddies that are watching.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I had to throw that in just to kind of.
I know. Now you're over here throwing sass, man. What's going on?
Right, I'm throwing it out there, but I'm just trying to poke at the bear.
Bears.
Pun intended.
Woo.
So you going back out tomorrow morning?
Yeah, that's the last run, man. So it's interesting from a conservation perspective. It's really interesting that the way that California's program has historically ran. Now they've made some changes now, which are kind of counterintuitive. For example, they've regulated tags and specified premium zones where you have to go through a lottery to get your tags and your licenses based on the amount of animals from the herd that are being harvested, which I think is amply correct, right? I think we need to be mindful of all the animals in our habitat and making sure that we're protecting them. If they're not hunted and they're not conserved from a hunting perspective, we have the opportunity to throw things out of balance. And in fact, those herds get too large. You get certain portions of the herd that are sick and have issues. So there is a strong value to having controlled and licensed hunting. But the challenge is that the way that our state is ran, they've started to put some controls around some of the other predatory animals that are affecting those herds, like mountain lions and bobcats and stuff in the area. So now, where mountain lions have been protected for a long time, and for good reason as well, because that population has dwindled significantly. Although we have seen some resurgence in areas that weren't characteristic of having mountain lions, but the bobcat population is very strong and has flourished throughout the state for a long time. We used to, until 2 years ago, actually they stopped at mid-season last year, where you could no longer use your hunting tags, which I would purchase one for a bobcat every year to harvest a bobcat. What's happening now is that we're seeing an increase of attacks on not just on the big game herds and population, but also like your dogs and your chickens
Yeah.
and little
I was
kids,
gonna
and
say
it's getting
domestic,
really,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see that continue to ramp up over the next couple of years. I don't know if it's a temporary thing that they're going to do there with that, but it's a bit disconcerting that we're not balancing from a conservation perspective appropriately. So there's some decision making there that's certainly questionable. Now, from a bear perspective, really interesting. There's some states that have bear populations in the 30s or 40s of thousands of bears, right?
Mhm.
And even Western states that you're familiar with. California has seen a decrease in bear population over the last 100 years, really. For example, big bear was in the late 1800s through early 1900s was a high population of grizzlies. Well, by
Okay.
1912, they were killed off. The settlers, they came in, the Indians, and so on that were settling in the high San Bernardinos killed off the entire grizzly population. There was a large price for their hides and the meat and so on and so on. But we still have a high concentration in the state of black bears. But
Mhm.
the state
Mhm.
regulates it to 1,700 shootable, reportable bear tags every year, or December 27th being the end of the season. So the long way around it is, yes, tomorrow is my last day. The 27th is the last day of hunting. There's still about 900 open bear tags that have not been reported.
Okay.
Interesting stuff.
Okay. I love it, man. That's good stuff. I'm learning new stuff every day. Now, do you do the processing and all yourself, or do you farm that out to someone else?
Good question. I have not harvested a bear, but I
Mhm.
would certainly do that on my own this year. Some years I've when I've harvested an animal, taken it to a local butcher
Mhm.
to do that. The field dress out there
Okay.
for various reasons. You need to get
Well, you got to
all
get
back,
that done.
get the
Yeah.
heat off, bacteria
Yeah.
off the meat, and such. But so this year the buck that I harvested, I've completely processed at home.
I love
So
it.
yeah.
Man knows how to roll up his sleeves, boy. God, that's
Hey man,
that was good.
when the zombies hit, I'm gonna be ready.
Hey,
I'm
I know
gonna be
you
ready.
got some things in the. I know, yeah, you got some things
Ah,
in the closet, so you know how to.
we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I'm coming to
Uh,
your house.
you're welcome. Like anytime. Yeah,
We got a couple of little things right here too, but
yeah. No, I
yeah,
hear you. I hear
I'm driving down to
you.
to Menifee.
Yeah. Back to consistency. Let's practice, practice, practice.
Just in case, just in
Yeah,
case.
just in case.
Uh, Other things that you're doing, man. We touched on it real quick. Podcasting. I saw you getting into that. I know once in a while when you want to let out some steam, you go online and you do a little streaming of your gaming as well. I mean,
Yeah,
talk to me about that. And you built out your studio. I was hoping that you were in your studio because this
yeah.
stuff. Look, I don't even want to show you what I got because I'm just trying to mirror kind of the setup that you got
It.
in your area.
I'm having fun with it, man. Again, we had a lot of time. It's like with this much time, we need to do something productive. I've always liked being on the air, broadcasting. So I started podcasting at the beginning of the year. Excuse me, and then I had a ton of allergy issues through this whole weird COVID thing. So I was going through all of that. So I really slowed it down, and I just haven't picked up momentum back on it. But through that, I also was letting out a little bit of steam, playing some video games, and through the whole podcast piece, which I wanted to make video very similarly to what you're doing here, started to get all my equipment in the studio and stuff set up. There's the whole goal there is to just create a couple different channelized opportunities to be able to put out content, and then who knows, maybe monetize some of that stuff. So
Yeah.
again, product reviews. I do a lot of stuff, right? Like, so I'm always checking out new hunting gear or jujitsu stuff, cheap
Yeah.
stuff, whatever. Like, why not talk about that? And let's see what the long tail
That's true.
brings, man. Let's get that up there, some affiliate stuff, and see what happens. The gaming, there's maybe some interesting opportunities there, but I would take more of the branding direction of the guy that really sucks at video games versus these pro gamers that are out here spending way too much damn time on that, dude. And then the podcast is really an outlet for me to interview people, just like what you're doing here. Let's talk to folks. There's interesting
Mhm.
things going on that we don't, perspectives that we don't hear. I've interviewed, from a UFC coach to you name it, man. Like just a bunch of different folks. It's good. I just am not as consistent as I need to be.
But you're staying active, you're doing something, and I agree with what you're saying, man. I do this. really to let off the steam, right? Just
It's awesome.
I've had the platform for forever. Hosted on Pagely. God dog it. No,
Yes,
little
sir.
plug right there for your boy.
There you go.
But the day job is stressful in and of itself. Can't go work out anymore. I bought some things for the home gym, but
Mm-hmm.
now that I'm
That's
kind of
hard, man.
sidelined, so this really is that passion. The revenue that comes in is nice, but that's not the drive for it. The drive for it is, again, I haven't seen you physically in
Oh, wow.
I don't know, however many years we were in Scottsdale for Pressnomics 1, right? And that was,
It may have been another event or something after that, but certainly it may have. I don't know. It's been a long
right.
time for sure.
But that was the last time that we really, well, it may have been another WordPress event in San Francisco too, but that's kind of where it all,
yeah, for sure.
But so, those kind of things, having the opportunity, man, to reconnect with you, see what you're doing, talk to you, see that you're good, see that you're healthy, talk to you about your family. That's what it's all about, man. And this is my selfish way of just reconnecting with some quality folks. For sure.
I love it, man. I love what you're doing. I think you've got great opportunity to continue to connect with people. So keep it up. This is good to see, man. It's good to see.
Thank you, brother.
It's good to see you.
Appreciate you, man. Just sitting here trying to do it. I got my fancy lights, and
Yes.
not like the Stank Eye Studio. I didn't name your stuff the Stank Eye Studios. Tell you what, I know you probably got TV where you are right now. I know you're up in the mountains. You got TV where you are.
Yep.
You looking at the climb. I know you looking at Fox because I know your Chargers about to come on. I'm cognizant of your time.
Hey.
Right.
The only nation there is Charger Nation. The Raiders are going down today, my friend.
Let me see here. Let me. I want to pull this up because I want to be
bolt
accurate.
up, baby, bolt up. Hey, we don't need to talk about records now. We don't need to talk about records.
I was gonna say 4-9, but okay. But
hey, you guys aren't even gonna the Raiders aren't even gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah, don't do that. Where my Steelers terrible towel? That's me. I'm a Steelers guy, right? And I've been taking a little heat ever since they fell on their faces.
Two losses. I mean, come on. People get all like it's that set of ESPN. Like, let's start sassing folks and see what's going. Like, they're 12-2, right? Yeah. You get these Steelers 12-2. Like, people need to settle down. Like, they need to settle down.
I know. I'm getting all the hate though. All the hate.
I don't buy it. That's a pretty damn well-rounded squad right there, man.
I'm like, man, it's gonna be all right. It's
you
kind
guys
of
will be
interesting to see the Patriots not even nowhere near the conversation though. What's going on? Come on, Sam.
But I do like a divisional rival for you guys. I am excited about seeing the Browns playing pretty well, and then almost beating the Ravens there, man. That
didn't even come off the mouth right? The Browns are winning.
What? Like what? Yeah, they got nine.
What was that in score? It was like 40 or 50 some.
Well, they ended up losing. Well, so they lost the. Yeah, man, they made a lot of people a lot of money. I think the spread was Ravens -3, and then it was -3. And then they end up with the safety like the last, like as time's expired. Oh, shoot. There's some pissed off people and a couple that are pretty happy.
Oh, my God. Woo. Vegas won, though. No. Yeah, I choose not to get into that because
I'm just
my wife would kick me out of the house and change all the locks if I
throwing it out there for those folks that are. That's
So I know you watch. So let's get back. You watching? I know you watching it. You getting ready for baseball too? You got some good hopes for your boys out there.
I don't. I don't. Here's the deal, man.
I'm trying to get you on a good note, right? Pujols, Trout. Come on.
I'm being realistic. Pujols, like that guy, one of my all-time favorites. He's got a year on his contract. I can't wait till he retires back to the Dominican. I love the guy, but that is hurting our budgetary opportunities, if you will. And where that needs to be spread out is into our pitching staff. We bring in a decent closer, but if we can't get into late innings, what the hell is a closer going to do? Our middle relief, our starters can't even get on average up through 3 innings. You can't even when you're putting up 8-9 runs. You can't you can't expect to win games if your starting staff isn't getting through 3 innings. Your middle relief gets into trouble, and you're never going to see the closer. So, this has been the thing since Sosha, and then even with the changes in coaching, the whole nine. Now we've got a new GM. They got to just completely rip out that whole coaching apparatus, or I'm sorry, the pitching apparatus, and figure that out. Until then, all the offense in the world ain't gonna do jack.
Damn, the world.
Real talk.
But you got a pretty cool stadium.
Hey, we got arguably the greatest of all time playing on our team. With Mr. Trout.
Yeah.
So we'll watch how that breaks down.
No, that's true. That's true. I mean, I like because one thing that me and my family try to do every time we travel to a different city, I'm trying to learn to go to every pro sporting venue, stadium, or arena. And when we were down a couple of years ago and going to Disneyland, we went through, like a little swimming pool or whatever you got back there when someone hits a home run. So so it's a nice little spot.
I grew up going there, and it's I'm from Anaheim originally, so that was right down the street. So I've been going to games since I was yay high. Fun memories there, man. Very fun memories. It's an old stadium. We'll be getting the new stadium here at some point. So there's been some contractual changes there over the last year, and in terms of ownership of the stadium from the city. Artie Reynolds involved and some other folks, and they're going to be able to expand in a new stadium and create new open living environments, their condos and stuff. It should be
okay. But they're staying in Anaheim. Though.
They're staying in Anaheim.
No plans of moving. Okay,
they're staying in Anaheim.
All these other teams are moving cities and states and whatever. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, dude, I can't. What are the odds? I lose the Chargers to LA, and now I'm gonna lose, legit lose the Angels. They already changed their name. Good marketing tool. Good revenue opportunity, but damn, I'm losing all my teams, man. It's no good.
I don't know, man. You represent for the old school, though. I got some old school Heinz Ward jerseys that
that was the man.
No one understands.
He's so people won't put him in their top 5, but I put him in my top 5 receivers of all time because that guy was smash mouth football. You need someone to lay and truck a linebacker out. That's a crackback right there. That guy was ugly, dude. No regard for his body or anything else. But so it's like Palomalu on the other side of the ball. That was
a bad man too.
Bad man. Well, USC representing there. Yes, sir. Yeah, I know what's up, man.
Look at you. Okay, I tip my hat to you, man. Tip my hat to you.
Heinz Ward.
What you getting into now, man? What's next on what's 2021 looking like for you, brother? You gonna get back on the mat? You gonna do spill some cars? Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, kind of like I said, I'm kind of moving away from the whole car thing, man. I'll probably at one point I might get rid of Stankai. I do like those.
We heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I might get rid of Stankai at one point. If I do build something, it'll be another Jeep, but it'll be some a little bit. What I like is the opportunity to scale that down a little bit and then continue to hone in my actual driving skills, off-road driving skills in terms of rock crawling and such. Yeah. Where it's built out right now, it's to a capacity where you can mix margaritas in the back of the Jeep and crawl over the gnarliest trails, right? That doesn't do well for me as a driver. So at some point, I run out of talent. If the Jeep is filling that void that I'm not really I'm not really learning. So that might be an interesting thing. But in terms of huge build out, I just don't see it. Jiu-jitsu is a priority for me, 100%. I need to really refocus there for my own health, for my journey in jiu-jitsu, and for those that I can offer to be a part and add value to their journey, right? To me, that's really a high priority. I don't have much. I want to go elk hunting in Colorado. That sounds super interesting to me. In terms of work, continue to scale. I tell my awesome boss, Tatiana, I'm coming for your job. That's my role. That's my goal is to empower the people under me to make sure they can take my job, but I want to run operations. So I have continual professional advancement expectations of myself. So I need to prepare myself to do that. Schooling wise, I've thought about going back and to get my doctoral. I don't know if I want to do that starting next year. I'm so over this, like the school piece right now, man. Going back, get my MBA, that was a lot. It's just it's a very big commitment, and going back, you know, to get your doctorate is another 4 years plus your residency every year.
Yeah,
Like it's just a lot. So I just don't have that in the cards for next year, but my goal is by 50. So we'll see what happens.
I love it, man. I love the fact that you're not settling, right? That you stand active. You got the big family. That's gonna keep you going either
Oh,
way.
always,
But
always.
you got things that you want to do for you that matter, right? I noticed you didn't say, hey, I want to go out and buy X, Y, and Z. No, I want to take care of my mind. I want to take care of my mental, my physical, and things like that.
There's
That's
always
pretty
time
cool.
to buy stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
I don't care about none of that stuff, man.
with you.
Kids are in school. Kids are doing well. Got one in college, one in the Navy. The others they're kind of working through. My role is to make sure that they amplify their opportunity and to be successful through consistency. Again, it's really that's that um, same theme throughout the show here. That's always going to be my most important focus. But from a personal perspective, I think that the day you stop learning is the day you die. So if we focus on those
Mm,
things, all those materialistic things fall in place if that's something that you choose to be a part of, right?
yeah, I agree with that 100%, 100%. Brother, I appreciate you, man.
Oh, appreciate
You good people. No,
likewise, likewise. It's day one when we met, dude. Yeah,
Yeah, we
yeah,
were like, oh shoot, let's get it
yeah.
together. Yeah, I mean,
That's
and you can see it, right? The genuine. I mean, there's nothing fake, false, phony, or anything about you. You get what you get, and it's 100% love. And I
always,
appreciate
bro.
you. Keep your family safe. Keep yourself safe. Let's connect again, brother. When you get
I'm
back to the
all
house.
in. I am all in. Yeah,
All right,
anytime.
man. All right.
Thank you
Take care of
so much.
yourself, brother. I
Hey,
wish you
take
luck
care.
tonight against them Raiders, brother. We
Bolt
out.
up, baby. Bolt up. We out.
Uh.